It's probably just going to randomly start, so give it a minute.
Okay, no worries.
Yeah, it's going to randomly start while we were talking, so we're going to have to start over now. Hey, Navy. Hey, man.
Hey, Bubba,
Hey.
what's going on, man?
I hate to say it, Navy, but if she doesn't like you, we might have to kick you out. No, seriously though, just
I'm okay with
look.
that.
She said she wanted to do everything publicly, so we haven't connected yet. Just for full transparency out there, I'll probably end up like editing the interview. I'm gonna leave the live interview up, but I'm gonna edit this after the fact, probably. Just so both are there for people. And I just want people to know that a week ago when we scheduled this in, she had said that she wanted to do everything publicly, like, you know, a public tweet, scheduling it kind of like publicly or whatever, right? So that's why I didn't try to bring her into the Discord server or connect to her or whatever, and then talk to her privately and then go live. I was trying to respect what she wanted. You know what I'm saying, Navy? You feeling me a little bit? You see what that thought process, train of thought, you know?
Yes, I do. Oh, yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure, like, I thought it was the best decision to make there. And so we aren't supposed to link up with EKC until 9:30. So I figured what we would do is we were going to try to hit 9 o'clock, but we had a little bit of technical problems there, I guess, starting up. So it is 9:18. Good. That's a good thing, because what I want to do is actually get everything ready. So we do have to do a tiny little bit of technical work because, you know, I wanted EKC to feel comfortable to come talk, and I wanted to have a new, cool looking streaming system. So I made a brand new streaming room. Let me pull it up. There we go. I like it. We got our live chat over there. We've got a Discord room, and don't worry, in that Discord room, only moderators and people like that people that have been around for a long time can drop, you know, a little bit of text if they have a thought, or they can drop a meme or a picture that's relevant to what we're talking about. So we're going to test that out. And if anyone's disrespectful or anything like that, or starts any craziness or whatever, I'm just going to bloop, knock it down. Also, I brought back the scrolling text bar at the top. I haven't added the text yet. So I just have like the stock text. It says, you know, interview with EKC, support us here. I think it says something about like WOACB lawsuit, because that's the main thing going on right now that she's covering, I think. So anyway, long story short though, we've got 10 minutes until, you know, she's going to be hitting us up or ready to come in or whatever. And she's welcome to come in a little bit early, a little bit late, whatever she's got going on. You know, I want this to be as comfortable, non-nerve-wracking or anything like that as possible. And I'll talk about that before we bring her in. We'll talk about why before I bring her in. Though we do need to add our faces. We need to be able to see who's here for when she gets here. So let's test it with us. Is that cool?
That works.
Okay, so one thing's first, I want her to be able to see what I pull up on my screen. I doubt I'm going to pull anything up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share screen 1 like this, and then double click it. Perfect. So, oh yeah, that's great. Now it's got me and you down at the bottom. So I need to put that me and you down at the bottom, those boxes that light up when we talk, that's what's going to be, you know, that's what we're going to put over there. Dang it. No, cancel. Sorry, I really suck with Discord, guys. I think everybody sucks with Discord, so give me a little bit of slack, all right? Okay, so here's the next step. We're going to pop this bad boy up. Actually, I don't know if it is going to let me pop this bad boy up. Where we go? Stream Room Omega? Yes. Oh, it did it. So then we take this and we're going to just go like that. And then we're going to go like this right here. And then whenever EKC comes in, I'll add her face down here to the faces. I kind of like it. I think this is going to look good, man. Oh, wow. That look really good. That'll look so good. Okay, does it go behind there? It does. That goes behind there. That's good. Okay. Okay, so give me 1 second. I'm going to play some music for 2 seconds while I try to get this ordered, and then I want to talk to the chat. Well, here, let me ask you this, Navy. What do you think about EKC coming? I'll let you talk because I got to do a couple more things. So do you have anything, any opinion at all? If not, it's okay, but you got anything at all, on top of your mind?
I just think it's going to be interesting to see how, certain questions that, she may get asked and all this kind of stuff, see how she answers to it. And, her overall aspect of, everything that's been going on. So we'll see what happens, but that's kind of wondering, how it's going to be.
Yeah, me too, man. And I really like our room. I'm checking it out. So I had to turn off my display capture just so I could get it bigger. I want that live thing over there to go away, but that's fine. We'll leave it like that. When EKC comes in, it should make that go away. And if EKC, I just want to make sure, we're as, accommodating as humanly possible because of a reason. So I'm going to give a speech, Navy. You can interrupt me anytime you want, okay? So here's what's up. There's I said this in Discord earlier. I talked about how it's a very kind of unique situation, what we've got going on here, because, people have kind of like been telling her what it is I do and what like these lies about me and convincing her of these things about me. And, people out there have this conception based on, people that don't like me, that have like repeated these things. I know this for a fact. So, while I'm not trying to dismiss anything they think about me because they might not like me for other reasons, I do think a big part of it is the fact that I've been misrepresented, what I do with my channel, what my like I will literally do a stream and I'll talk about, I remember talking about the Toddy lawsuit and all this garbage that was going on with it. And then I was coming in and telling you guys about the FBI stuff and everything that was happening, right? And I would notice that a core little group of people were always lying. They would sit there and tell people that I said things that I didn't say. They would repeat about stuff that just didn't happen. So I very quickly realized that was a factor in it. So I think us sitting down and talking, number one, is going to be good because it's going to solve that issue to some extent. And then number two, there's a lot of questions that people have. There's a lot of topics that have never been resolved. And personally, I think that once we get those out and get people to understand the thing that's there, the issue that's there, I think that's going to make a lot of progress. And I know that she had said something on Twitter, like she wants it to be where if we have a question, we can ask her, and she wants to the line of communication and all this stuff open. And I think that's good because I try to have that with any creator. Most people know this, but when I was asked to cover all this stuff a long time ago, the first thing I did was say, okay, well, if I'm going to cover this Katie thing, because it was Katie versus a certain person, I said, I need to talk to Katie. I need to hear her side of the story. And that's what I always do. And I've had my door open for most everyone who's, the only time I close my door to somebody is if they're breaking TOS, doxing, and threatening people. So, and again, it's not a permanent thing. It's just sometimes people make mistakes. Sometimes people do it like crazy. So anyway, I think it'll be a good thing. Now, it is going to be hard to figure out how the best way to get her in. So really, I have an invite out there. Let me just go ahead and I will break my rule. Actually, it's not really me breaking a rule because I allow myself to use DMs just to link up with other creators to talk. I don't send info back and forth using DMs. So I'm going to go to Twitter and DM her a link to our server, and then if the way this would have to work, since we didn't get a talk beforehand, we would have to wait. What is a Slayer, right? The Slayer, there she is. So okay, so next, all I want to make sure is, let me type this. Here's a link whenever you're ready. I won't be my DMs won't be open on my screen, so if you need to message me, you can publicly or in DMs hit up mods, jump in, side chat, parenthesis, we are live. So whatever works for you, here is a link. So here's a link. I'm gonna shoot this over to her, and I let her know. I don't know if she's gonna hit up a mod or whatever, because I'm not gonna keep my Twitter DMs open. I never use them. Whoa, is that a busy Bitcoin? Oh my god, I love it. That is so freaking awesome.
It sure is.
I need to do something so that we can make these memes fit in here a little better, but I'll work on that as the night goes on. So, you know, I guess we're just going to be chilling for a few minutes, man. She's got the link out, and when she joined, oh, this is the other thing I was going to say. So in order for me to have our names up like they are here, to have it up like visibly like it is, unfortunately, I won't be able to mess with my Discord. And that's why, if you want, like, if she does join the server when she's ready, if you want to jump down and just say, hey, Uni's going to pull you into the stream room, and then I'll pull you both back up. And if she wants you to leave, I just want her to know, if you want Navy to leave, that's fine. Navy's just chilling. Yeah. He's helping me get you in, because we did it publicly instead of doing it behind the scenes before the stream. That's the only reason. So, yeah. But I think it's going pretty good so far, Navy. What do you think?
Oh, yeah. Seems to be going good.
Okay. Do me a favor. No EKC memes. No EKC memes till after we talk to her. I don't want her to take the memes the wrong way and then not want to come. But that's a funny meme. So, I mean, that's pretty funny. It's not really insulting. I just don't want her to feel like we're clowning on her, because we're not. We're not here to clown on EKC. So before EKC comes in, or while she's figuring out what she wants to do, and EKC, if you want to connect in a different way, like, I don't know, however you would want to, just if you want to hit up the mods or jump in the side chat, whatever works for you, okay? Tag me on Twitter publicly, since that's how we've been doing it. If you've got some issue, if something comes up, tag me publicly. We'll figure it out. And if I don't know if Mr. Norway is out there, or someone who uses Twitter a lot, if you want to keep an eye out for her to tag me, if you could let me know in the side chat, use stop sign emoji, hey uni, Twitter, whatever you want to do there. But until we get her in here, let's at least kind of talk about what's happened. By the way, she should be hitting us up at any time to come in, y'all. Like I said, we'll give her time. We were supposed to link up around 9:30. So, if I think back to let's actually talk about what it is that I hope we'll talk about tonight. You know, I think it's pretty obvious when you look out there, there's a group of creators that go after KJ that are pretty linked up. And I think that their claim is that people have a misconception about what they do to call out KJ. That's at least their claim, because I know a lot of us, we look at all the extreme things that have happened to Katie. We don't like it because it's hard to get people to listen to us criticizing her when there's extreme things happening to her all the time. So we see those things happen. We see the group of people that spread a lot of the information that comes from that kind of thing. We make our assumptions. We make our determinations. And while some people will act like that's such a horrible thing to do, really, that is all we are going to do. Like, I want to ask her some questions. I'll go through a few of them until we hear something from her. So I've got let me pick a good one here. I was going to ask her, like, what she calls out Katie for. Like, to her, is it just anything that Katie does that seems mean or nasty, or like, what's the standard, what's the rule set, right? And then I was thinking, like, what if someone that calls out Katie ends up doing those same things? How would you treat it? What would you think about it? Would it matter? Is it like you guys are just calling out Katie? Is that why a lot of times we don't see you call out other people? And I want to explain why I want to ask her that question, because I want to kind of understand their perspective. Like, I don't go by that perspective. Like, if I'm gonna be like, if me and like, let's say 6 other people are always talking and hanging out and we're calling out Katie, and I find out like Menace or you did something jacked up, I would just bring it right up and we would talk about it. You get me? So that's the kind of weird thing, is trying to understand how different that group works compared to a lot of the other people out there on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? I know that you've talked about that too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is that aspect, right? Because sometimes there are people out there who justify the way they do things by saying, well, this other person did it, so it's okay for me to do it back, right? And if you're an honest person about it, then you can dislike the way someone does things, but also not like someone doing it to them in the same aspect, and call them out both equally. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's, I mean, I think it's a good aspect to kind of look at, is that where does the aspect of a certain aspect of hypocrisy come in when you are going after someone that you think is doing wrong?
I'm with you, because part like of some of the topics I'd written down, do have to do with that. Because when we talked to the community a couple times throughout the week about the main points and things we should ask her and we should talk to her about, and I do think that was a very that was a commonality. Yo.
That don't mean to interrupt, but Sue Elliott says she'll be there soon. She just walked in the door about 12 minutes ago.
Yeah, and just and just let her know to take her time. Like, I want her to be comfortable and chill and happy and all that good stuff. I don't want her, if she just walked in the door, don't try to run over here or anything. Take your time. We all we're gonna do is sit down and link a bridge together, right? And so, and what I hope is, and if she was working and stuff tonight, like, I don't want to try to like stress her out and get into a bunch of deep ass stuff and all this. So we could talk again in a few days. We could talk for as long as she wants, really. So if she wants to hang for a while, we can do that. If she wants to, instead of hanging for a while, if she wants to hang for like half hour, whatever's comfortable, and then jump back over, we'll talk about it. But yeah, sounds good. So we've heard from her. She just came in the door, someone said, and so we'll be as forgiving as humanly possible. We're not in any rush. Are you in a rush, Navy? Because I'm not.
No, not in a super rush. No, sir.
Okay, because I actually, while we wait on her, I'm gonna pull up. I'm gonna work on OBS, and we're just gonna. So there are some things from the past that a lot of people are hung up on. A lot of times I think that's the best thing to do with things like that, is to kind of just air it out. And I always say that YouTube is a thing. None of us know the correct answer, and none of us know what we're doing when we come in here and start on the platform. So there have been a bunch of things that people out there in the community are pretty passionate about. Like, they really are pretty freaking passionate about. And so hopefully we can get through some of that also. And then the last thing I want to do is spend a lot of time talking about any specific other person, but I would like to address some of the narratives that are out there that apply, whatever she feels may be like a thing that applies when people think about her in the community, and then especially these narratives that are applied towards myself. And I try to do my best not to just like blame. Like, I try to take into consideration that if you get a group of people that are lying about you out there, then there are going to be people that just believe those lies, because that's what happened to us way back in the day ourselves. You know that Nate the lawyer, I'll use Nate the lawyer as an example here. We were told that Nate was this big, bad, mean old troll, right? Remember all that garbage. And I always felt bad about that. And when we ended up talking to Nate, we realized, wait a minute, Nate's not a big, bad, mean old troll. He's actually really freaking cool, So I hope that that's something maybe we can kind of like figure out is why do people from their community have such a negative thought process about some people from our community, myself included, obviously. Maybe we can get that handled. Maybe. Let's see if I can get this pulled up on the screen here. Rogue Tower, and then I want to hit. Bam, there it is. Okay, now hold on, because I gotta get it sized. Right. Perfect. Okay. You know, I like to have, while I'm talking to people, something going on in the background of the stream so that it's not boring. So I also need my stream chat. I need to be able to see my stream chat. So let me do that too. Move my Discord over a little bit because I want to put my stream chat like right there. And then let's pop that out. Okay. Got my stream chat where I can see it a lot better. All right. Also, live stream. Hey, hello. Who's that? Is that hey Allison? Good to see you. Glad you came to say hi. Appreciate you being here. If anyone in the chat has any questions or any points they want to make, you know, hopefully we can also hear from you guys. We do want to hear from you guys too. Okay, let me go ahead and turn the audio. Do I not have my audio open? Oh my goodness. I am so behind. I don't even have my mixer open, bro. There we go. All right. Let's see. I don't know why I'm not getting it. Oh, that's why. Okay, so I'm actually going to turn the music off. So I'm going to use my own music for this stream. But have a few sound effects from this game. All right, great. Okay, so we're going to be playing a game called Rogue Tower. Now, why is that? Because it's a game you can pause. So I can literally just let this game sit there. I can just let this little thing sit here. I don't even have to do anything. I can just put it right here and not do anything. So while we're talking, we can, you know, I could maybe play this game a little bit while we're talking, but most of the time, I'm probably not going to be playing it. I just thought I'd open it until she gets in here. So, Navy, what do you think is the, like, big point of contention? I'm going to say that it's the things that are kind of just assumed out there. And what I mean is, like, I've heard all these weird things that I've said on my show that I've never said. So people making judgments on me for that. Of course, it's going to be a bunch of... It's going to be a barrier. What do you think, though, from everything you've heard from everyone, excluding that's why I brought it up, is the thing we should probably try to highlight the most? What do you think?
Well, I guess I'd have to say that, you know, if someone out there disagrees with something you've done, right, then the aspect of, like, instead of just jumping to conclusions, coming to you and asking and trying to figure out the reasons why, the context to what you're doing, is probably one of the biggest things that is it's something that happens out there on especially in YouTube, Twitter universe, all this kind of stuff, is that they're just a bunch of assumptions that are made and they just kind of run with stuff. So sometimes people aren't given a chance to explain why they do things. And sometimes the answer is good, sometimes the answer is not good. So it just kind of depends. But when people just make an assumption and run with it, that's always almost in the worst form.
Okay, let me bring up something that I know is on my mind, which is I do believe Katie needs to be criticized pretty heavily, especially, you know, looking like when I think that as many voices that want to address something should, because it helps get things, you know, taken care of. It helps get it handled. So, you know, saying that, of course, as many criticism videos thrown out there at her as possible is good. Though I do think there's not there's a line that isn't drawn, especially in some communities that talk about her, where you'll see people doing the same thing that they say that she does wrong, or people just being really nasty and kind of shitty towards her. And I disagree with that. I like comedy. I like people being funny. I don't like the nastiness. I don't like the hate. I mean, I know some people don't agree with me on that. Some people think you should be that way. So what I hope is, like, no one tries to, hopefully if we talk to more people than just EKC, which I hope we do eventually, we will hear, like, them be honest, them tell us what they really think, because I don't want them, like, saying, well, these guys don't like it when people are mean to people that they're calling out or criticizing. So we're, I want to hear that, if that's what you think, is what I'm trying to say. I want to know I want it up front. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I've talked to Katie a lot. You were around a lot when I was talking to her. It seems like a lot of people think that they make a lot of assumptions about what happened with that too. And I think, though, that one bad thing is we get these people throwing these lawsuits at her. And a lot of people just kind of jump behind them because they want to see Katie, held accountable, or whatever they say, however they're going to say it. And a lot of times those lawsuits aren't is on point. They're not as good as what we would think. So, I think we got to be real. I think anytime that we aren't real when we're calling her out, it's just giving her the advantage. I think that's how she's lasted so long, doing a lot of the stuff that people would consider, messed up. But I've said that a million times too. I'm almost repeating myself here.
Well, and there's a difference between criticizing someone on the internet for the things that they do, right, and then taking it to a legal aspect. And I think Nate's been on here a couple times talking about how hard, like certain the aspect of the lawsuits that have been put against KJ, the legal reason that they're filing these lawsuits is something that it's easy to be able to criticize someone for doing those things on the internet, but in actuality, when you take it to an actual legal court system, the actual proof that you have to show is so much more difficult than just going out and criticizing somebody. So there's an aspect where you have to look at the like the reality of the matter, right?
Yeah. One thing came up in my head when you were saying that is Katie having insurance, because there's this thing going on right now in the community where people are acting like she doesn't have full coverage for this new lawsuit that's going on. And I was talking to someone, I don't know, I can't remember if it was Nate that told me this, but I think it was. So I'm just going to go ahead and say it was Nate. Nate, if I'm wrong, I'll correct myself later. I swear to God, he was telling me that the kind of insurance that she has, even now, this shocked me, but I was told that even if she loses the lawsuit maliciously, like if they end up, okay, remember that lady, who was it, Cardi B? She won like millions against this YouTuber because there was a video of that. Yeah, that YouTuber was admitting that she literally maliciously lied on Cardi B to make money and get views, and they had a recording of this, and that's how she lost. She even admitted it in court. So my thing is, wouldn't you expect that the insurance wouldn't pay if that happens? And I was told they will. The type of insurance that she has even is going to pay if she maliciously loses this lawsuit. Now, again, I don't just take claims like that and run with it. I kind of looked around and realized there is coverage. Now, what they can do, I was told, is if you get into a lawsuit like that and then they end up, you maliciously getting in trouble and all this, they end up having to pay your bills, they can drop you, supposedly, not right away, but when your contract comes up, which someone said was either yearly or something like that, or something. So the thing that shocked me the most is, regardless of the other details, you hear from people out there that know her, because again, I do not talk to Katie, and I haven't since the Creep Show thing. She's been on the show once since then, and she had such a miserable experience. She was just like, I'm never doing that again. I hate you, UNIRock. That was pretty funny. Anyway, though, the people close to her, they literally are saying, like, yes, she has this kind of coverage. She does not have to worry. Then you look at the way she's acting, and she does act really cocky. She acts really like she is covered, right? So I see, though, on the other side, that anti-KJ community is out there saying that she isn't covered. I see the live chat. Nerd Angle was saying in the live chat, they were talking about how, nah, she can't be covered and all this, and she doesn't have the insurance. And then on stream, I'm not going to bring up who, but he was talking about how she's not covered. So it's like, why is it that we're having such a hard time coming to an agreement on this one easy to answer part of the situation, right? I don't want to ramble, but you see what do you think, man?
Well, I mean, the thing is that they don't know. Like, the truth of the matter is they're making assumptions, because unless they have access to her actual, like, insurance policy that she has with said company, right? You don't know for sure that she's not covered. You don't know for sure what they're willing to cover, what they're not willing to cover, what her, rates are that she's paying. Maybe she's paying some exorbitant amount of money for some crazy insurance that covers literally anything, right? We saw this a lot with action stars like Jackie Chan and stuff like that, where these guys had to go and create their own insurance companies because the normal ones wouldn't, because of the fact they did their own stunts, right? But you don't know unless you have a copy of her actual policy, like that you can actually read off and show that she is not covered or that they stopped covering her. You don't know. It's just they're talking out their ass.
Those memes. That's it, Nerd Angle. There it is. If you guys keep doing that, I'm going to be laughing all night. We're talking about insurance, and Nerd Angle put Homer Simpson got car insurance. He screams and runs into a tree. It's hilarious. Nerd Angle, you're on it tonight. Please hit me with those memes. Yeah, exactly. So, and here's my thing. How do we come to a good determination? We have to ask ourselves, who would have the knowledge of the situation? It would be Katie and the people near her, because they claim to have asked her. They claim to have, like, literally said, why are you so cocky? What's going on? And it was insurance. She's covered. She doesn't have to stress. She doesn't even, supposedly, according to the people close to her, that are still close to her, that still communicate with her, she doesn't do anything. She lets her lawyers handle it. The insurance company pays the lawyers. The lawyers know the insurance company's paying, and those lawyers go out there and do it, and she's not even affected by it now. So when I hear a YouTuber up there, and the thing is, it's about, in my opinion, this narrative is out there because of fraud raisers, because of the fact that people can make money and get something out of this narrative of the opposite. You get me saying that when you say something like, Katie, I remember it was, Katie's going to lose everything because of this lawsuit. No, she's not. Even if she loses $5 million, her insurance is paying it. Fact, okay? So she's not. I know people out there may want her to lose everything. She's not going to. Maybe if you sue her after her insurance drops her because of her, getting some big judgment, she'll lose some things. She's not losing shit because of these lawsuits, guys. I'm sorry. Though, when then you think about it and say, hold on, there are people out there, some people, not EKC, again, I'm not talking about her, and she knows this, but there are people out there that are engaged with her in lawsuits, and they're saying, because Katie, this is the new thing, because Katie is going to lose everything to Chrisley and 7M, I'm not going to continue forward with my lawsuit against her. So, again, fraud raiser, complete fraud raiser situation there. I think we lost the Navy. We might have lost Navy because he's going to bring in EKC, though. So, all right. It looks like he's in the gaming room. So, she might be coming in. So, let's go ahead and reset here. Navy, if you need me, just type in the chat, because I have to leave my, that little picture of me talking? I got to leave that open. There we go. Now I got me back up. Okay. So I can pull Navy up at any time. Let me ask him. I'm going to pull Navy up for a second and I'll put him right back down. Yo, I'll put you right back down there. Are you going down to wait on her? Is that what's up?
She's here, and I was going to try to move her into gaming and have you move us up, but
Yeah, look,
she's in the Discord.
Okay, so yeah, just go down to the gaming. Once you talk to her, I'll pull you up, make sure that it is her that joined, and then I'll pull you both up. Cool. I'll head you back down, man. Okay, so I guess she joined the server. I'm glad she did. Thank you, EKC. I hope you're listening. I hope you joined. And I think I have a feeling we're going to have a good old conversation. And hopefully this game looks cute. I wanted to pick a game that looked cute. And so I thought, you know, I'll make these little monsters try to attack my castle. And you see them? They're actually, if you zoom in on them, they're actually pretty cute. They actually, look, they say things like, blarg. He just said blarg. You think you're going to defeat my castle? You got another thing coming, goblin. And I have to put these little traps there to try to stop them. This game is called Rogue Tower. If you see the game and you think, wow, that game looks like it's a fun little game, you're right. It's very fun. You upgrade your little things, your little weapons, and you try to stop these monsters getting ya. So yeah, I have an electric tower. Some of the towers you get are special, but you can't only let a couple of them hit you. No. Oh my god, I'm down to 7 hit points out of 11. This is sucking. I've got to build me some stuff. So let's see here. Poison sprayer. We're getting that damn poison sprayer. So while we're waiting on Navy, I'm not going to play this game, guys. I'm not going to be gaming. We are going to be talking this game. Look, literally, I can just let it sit here. You know what I wanted to do? I wanted to play a city building game. I wanted to build like a sim city so we could literally watch my city, like my people run around in my city. I thought that'd be fun. Maybe I will try that here in a minute, but I got to keep my eye on things, you know? I want to keep my eye on stuff so I don't miss anything here. But anyway, let me adjust our little OBS here. I want to see more of these memes. Hold on. Is it? Let me see what happens if I do this, because the memes are getting cut off. Okay, I'm gonna make it to where the memes don't get as cut off. Okay, properties. We are gonna go to width 1150. Okay, width 1150. Okay, there we go. There we go. Now the memes aren't as cut off. But I need to make sure that I gotta make it higher. So if we're gonna do that, we want to do height. We want to do at least, I'd say, a 1600 height. Oh, wait, hold up. Oh, baby, much better. Okay. I like it. I think it's better. I don't know. Can you guys see the memes okay? Do you need the memes to be a little bigger? Because I can make them a little bigger if I do this. So if we do width 10, wait, what did I have it at? 1920 by 1080. And I've kind of flopped it around here. UNIRock builds a city. We have a city to burn. Oh my god, you guys and these memes. You guys are meme masters. All right, it looks like EKC's in there. I'm going to give EKC... Okay, EKC's got the Rocket Squad mod, and I'm going to give her the... I need to give her the other mod, the other thing, the voice. There we go. I got her the voice mod. Got her the voice mod. So I'm going to give Navy just a second to talk to her, and then I'm going to pull him in. I'm going to make sure it's her. I'm only making sure, like, you know, someone's not trying to mimic her or something, right? And then I'm going to pull her in. Looks like EKC's here, guys. Holy shit. Holy shit, dude. This is going to be tight. We want to have a good conversation. We want to have a good time. We're going to talk, and hopefully we'll talk even again after this. So
there we go.
Hey, you brought her in? EKC, are you in here? Is your mic working? Everything cool? You're muted, so you might have to unmute. Yourself.
Does she have to have certain permissions to talk in here?
No, but I think she might have to switch to push. Do you have to be on push to talk, maybe? She unmuted. We might be able to.
I'm not on push to talk.
Okay.
I was talking to her just fine in the gaming room, so
I gave her
can you hear us?
Yeah, I gave her permission, so she should be able to speak in here. Let's jump down into that other room. You want to do that? We'll just go into gaming.
That works.
Because you said it worked in gaming. It might be the room, so let's jump down there. Okay. Okay, so while we do that, I got to turn a song on. Okay.
Can you hear us?
It kicked her out. Oh, it kicked her back up.
She may have jumped back up. We're just going
okay.
to talk in here. It might be easier, EKC. I think it works. For whatever reason, I think your audio wasn't working.
Can you hear us okay? EKC? Hi, I'm Uni. Nice to meet you. I'm silly. I'm not mean.
It literally was working just fine like 2 seconds ago.
Give her a second, because it might be like her Discord. Yours does this a lot too. You got to admit it does. But we'll just let her figure that out. Now I've got to get it figured out how to put our faces on here. So while she's figuring that out, I'm gonna figure this out. Here, let me try it. I'm gonna share screen 1 and blow that up. Oh my god, there it is. Perfect. Oh my gosh, it's absolutely perfect. Wow, it looks better than I thought it would. Actually fit it in a Navy's in the middle. Right there. Perfect. Well, let's cross our fingers, because I know Discord acts funny a lot of the time. I'm just glad you tried to... Oh, did it kick her? Uh-oh. Like she popped out. Well, there. We'll let her pop in and out and try to get
Hello.
her working, because... Oh my god! I can hear your voice! Yes, hi! Good to have you.
I had to reset my voice settings, that's all.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Good
Discord
to be here.
sucks.
Thank you.
No, we're glad to have you.
Yeah, it does.
So, let me look, I know there's like a lot of tension and just stuff out there. So like, I don't know what we want to do to just get moving here, but I just was hoping we could talk for a minute. Maybe, I don't know, like, I don't even know how you got started on YouTube or anything. I don't know if you want to ask me anything. Just whatever you want, we'll hook it up for a little bit just to get comfortable.
Honestly, you and I would love to have like a fucking 4-hour phone call with you just to hear all about the QAnon shit. Like that alone. Like,
all right.
I'm fascinated with I mean, just the little bit I learned about your involvement and everything. Like, I'm in awe. Like, seriously.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Yeah, I bet. Oh my gosh.
I apologize for interrupting. The chat's asking if you can turn her up a little bit.
Yeah. I'm gonna work on levels, guys. Give me a second and we'll get it leveled. We'll get everybody leveled out here. Yeah, so I mean, I can give you the really short version. Basically, a long time ago on YouTube, back in 2017, there was I was streaming and somebody came in and asked me to talk about this Q thing, and I was like, I've never heard of it. About a week later, we ended up doing a stream on it, but there wasn't much information. And after a few months, it had basically blown up into this massive conspiracy. And we'd done a little digging and found out that it was a group of people on YouTube basically doing it. And yeah, we outed them.
That's
and
fucking crazy.
Yeah, they hated us afterwards. So people don't like what we do.
I mean, I found when I heard, I forget what I was looking into. I was looking into something, and I ended up finding you there, and I'm like, what the hell? And then I saw all this, talk about QAnon and everything, and so I'm like, what's that about? So I looked into that, and I found like this paste bin that belonged to Defango, I guess, whoever that is or whatever. But and then I was reading about how you were in a Discord server with the inventors or creator or whatever of QAnon and all this, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, oh my god, this. Oh, I still have the paste bin, by the way.
yeah. That's what we used to use back then for like everything we put out that was text, and we'd interviewed the two creators. And what's funny is after I interviewed them, I named them as the creators. You know, that was my determination. But about 2 months ago or a month ago, the New York Times did a investigation. Well, they reported on an investigation by like a Swiss team that did their own investigation and named the same guy who I interviewed and named back then. I did a little video on it, so it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool finally having that confirmed, you know.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, because I mean, when I was first learning about the names and everything, because I never knew who was behind QAnon, you know, and I'm like, this can't be. No way. You mean to tell UNIRock? I mean, this dude who I know on YouTube, he's the one who fucking. Yeah. Like I know the guy who did this. I mean, what the hell? So I was looking into it, and this was just like 2 or 3 months ago, maybe. And and I read some article or whatever, but the article was pretty much backing everything that you had already, you know, pretty much revealed. And I was like, holy shit. How is this pretty cool. About? How are people not talking about this? This is crazy.
It was a long time ago. You know, that was like our thing that kind of, it was like the second thing that got my channel noticed. The first one was a big stream I did on the Las Vegas shooting, and I was kind of debunking some stuff around. People were saying it was helicopters and all this other stuff, but yeah, YouTube changed a lot though, and we eventually had to stop doing that kind of thing. And that's why I started doing the nightly podcast, where we got pulled into this whole mess, but that's a whole different story. But so I mean, that's where I came from. I came from that whole thing into about a year-long podcast, and then started doing, you know, the community commentary I've been up to lately. So
well, I'm just saying, I can appreciate like the shit you did before. Coming from like the vaccine the advocacy community on Facebook, pretty much what I did was I hung around in the shadows, whatever, the anti-vax groups, and I attend like my local rallies and stuff like that, and just collect information and stuff like that. But I mean, you hear all of these conspiracy theories, you know, just you see the creation of them, even, you know, and then you just see them take hold and go on the national, international scale or whatever, and it's crazy, you know. So it's just, I get it. I get what you were, you know, doing, and I feel you.
Yeah, we used to think that if we used to think back then, we were a little naive. We thought that if we debunked that stuff, then if we helped YouTube by showing the truth and showing people like, hey, it's not this big thing you think it is. It sucks. Some people might think it's not as mysterious, but it's not the big thing you think it is. That might stop YouTube from coming in and banning a bunch of people. And it's crazy because like they in 2019 went in and banned pretty much anybody that covered QAnon. Well, they were pushing it, not the debunkers, of course, and they banned all of them. So that was pretty. I don't like seeing people get banned. I'd rather see people change,
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
I completely agree.
Well, see, and that's good. I'm glad you agree, because that's one of the things we were going to ask you and kind of like go into eventually. So that's good, because I know that I do what you do. We all call people out, and we all have these different factors and different people involved. So, you know, when we're not talking to each other, it really puts a barrier up, because I do believe Katie needs to be called out. She's gone pretty crazy lately. What do you think of her new lawsuit? Because it's pretty bad, I think. I think she's going to suffer a little bit from it.
You know, like the previous lawsuits, I could see a defense, like, you know, like I could see Toddy being of interest of her to her channel, and, you know, to what she does. The same thing with Todd Chrisley, you know, and I can see her talking about much of the things she talked about, maybe not to the extent she did, but, you know, I could see the people being of interest. But this, I mean, these weren't even public figures, like the Robert Shin, he wasn't a public figure. He didn't. I mean, she just pretty much picked this dude from obscurity and put him and pushing him into like the national spotlight, and just painting him as this horrible person while doing so with nothing to back it up.
Yeah,
you know, it's kind of dangerous that anyone has the power and ability to do that to seemingly anyone.
I agree with you. And what she did to Shin, there's, you know, I looked into it and thought you know, maybe there'd be something. It seems like every time this happens to her, it gets more and more and more where she's kind of creating it out of nothing. Because, yeah, like you said, with Chrisley, she's got the daughter saying all this stuff. But with Shin, the only thing we can find right now, at least, is a lawsuit from 2003 that doesn't really even back up what she's saying now. So it's definitely kind of scary for her, I think.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's one thing to, I mean, if she just came out and said something like, you know, he pressured or he sexually harassed people or something, you know, that's different. But I mean, she's making claims of human trafficking, even in laying heavy emphasis on like possibility of like human sex trafficking.
Yeah. No,
that's
I saw that.
That's pretty damning. What the I mean, come on.
Oh yeah. No, you're right. And so it's crazy because, you know, I stopped talking to Katie with the creep show art docs thing. You know, a lot of people thought I was just buddied up to her, and I wish we would have been able to have people around then, because we were really like, it was, the Navy can jump in for a second because he was around then, but we were really just trying to get Katie to open her eyes to the fact that she couldn't just ignore all of the criticism against her. Because I think if she would have listened to it, she might not be sitting where she is right now with this Robert Shin thing. But I listened to that stream, the suicide prevention stream. Yeah, you know, you and Charlie, I think was her name. Charlie,
the woman who came up on panel with you. I mean, you both, especially her, she did a fantastic job at explaining things to her, you know, for her. Yeah, and it's a shame that she didn't catch on. It's a real shame. Because, I mean, she's not going to get a better explanation, a more nicer explanation either, really, I think. So. Yeah,
and Charlie is really good at that. She's really good at, like, she's really good at getting someone to see the criticism, like you said, in a really nice way, so that they're not scared off. So
right.
If you can't hear it from Charlie, you're not going to get it from anybody. Kind of thing.
Right, exactly, yeah.
Because, I mean,
I agree.
I noticed that, like, I'm a little abrasive. I know I am. And so, like, if I go in there, and I do think Katie asked me to help her for that same reason, because I think she saw that we had mediated a few other situations and gotten good results. So she was probably looking for us to do that for her too. But, you know, the internet's a weird thing, and the mess she's in now, you know, we're going to try to get a hold of Shin. That's what we're doing right now, even if it's just an email statement. I don't think he's going to write us, but I hope he would, or write some YouTuber, because I'd like to hear him and his. Has he put? Do you know if he's put anything out or said anything? Or he's probably keeping quiet, huh?
I don't know. I don't even know of anyone who's spoken to him. Like, I know, like, people have spoken to maybe someone in his camp, but no one, to my knowledge, has spoken to him. So.
And probably his lawyers aren't letting him talk or anything, but, you know, his lawsuit kind of does say it all.
Yeah.
So tell us, you know, I came into YouTube in 2016, ended up covering all that stuff you talked about. What got you started? Because a lot of us have no clue. So, I mean, what got you going? Was it debunking Katie? Because if it was, that's fine. But
pretty much, like, that's what got me started for mostly on YouTube. Like, I was already on the internet. Like, I'm probably like, I would refer to myself as like an OG Facebook fighter, I guess.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
Because I've been doing that since like Facebook's, you know, was created pretty much. But yeah, and that evolved from one thing to another. Like, it for the most part, it was like I was involved like in local chapter, Photography is Not a Crime, police accountability, and then they went on to online activism, and then eventually made my way over to the vaccine community, which I stayed there for quite a few years. It was like several years.
Okay.
I was interviewed by CNN for my efforts there, and a few other media outlets. But then COVID hit, and the one thing about the vaccine advocacy that I liked was that when you heard these crazy claims, you could look it up, at trustworthy sources, get the facts, and then share the facts. You had weapons in your arsenal to use, basically.
Oh,
then COVID hit, and the theories just got even crazier, and it's a novel virus at the time, so there's no tools in the arsenal, and it was giving me anxiety. It was stressing me out, and
sure,
that's when I don't even remember what it was. I saw something, Kate, and I knew her from the vaccine community. She and I, we talked a few times here and there. Nothing,
yeah. Okay, well, because she covered stuff like that, yeah.
Oh, she got. I don't know if she bounced or got booted.
It's probably her connection, so she'll be back, I'm sure. Oh, there she is. Okay,
she's back.
Yeah, I was saying, Katie. Yeah, Katie debunked around that community too. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So like I said, it was not that we weren't friends or anything. We just for the
cross paths
writing
type
purposes,
thing.
we exchanged. Yeah, exchanged a few messages. It's really about it. Then I don't even remember what it was. It was something I came across something, and I was like, "What the hell is she doing?" That's. I'm not even sure what it was. It had something to do that was pseudoscience, and that doesn't even make sense. And then I read something she doesn't vaccinate her cats. I'm like, what? She's a vaccine advocate. What is she talking about? So
yeah.
and that's what got me. Looking into her. We're just reacquainting myself with her, really. And
yeah.
And just hearing things that I knew for a fact were false. Mostly though would kind of drag me in, not drag me in, but what really just got me focused a little bit was when her husband was laid off from his job, and she went on this whole diatribe, whatever, about insurance and everything being the reason, because the company didn't want to pay the insurance bills or whatever. I'm like, that's not how it works though. I'm like, there's premiums or whatever, It's not how it works. It doesn't cost the company any more money. It'll cost the company more in premiums, but I'm guessing they already know about his medical history, so the premium costs are already there. And and then the way she backtracked and changed that whole story, I'm like, what is going on? And that's I don't know. I start watching her, and for me, it's frustrating when you see someone just lie. That they're lying because just the day before they said something completely different, and then they're telling this whole nother narrative, and they're doing it for a personal agenda, for selfish reasons. That stresses me out. So I found it cathartic to just talk about it in a video and put it out there. So that's it.
Well, yeah, no. Look, I think that I differ than a lot of people do when it comes to commentary, criticism, and stuff. I think it's perfectly fine and necessary, especially someone like Katie who's experiencing wild growth on her channel. I did a video a month or two ago talking about she was really clickbaiting Josh Duggar really hard when he was staying with a family and stuff, and same kind of thing you're saying now, but kind of, just a little bit of clickbait mixed in. And I think people need to call her out, and we've been doing that for a while off and on. But the thing that gets bad about it is just she is very I hate to say it, manipulative. She will do what you just described and change up. She would do something out in the community and then come in and tell all of us something different. It took us a while to key into it, but what are you supposed to do when someone's doing that? More than just you got to do a long trek of fact checking, and it takes time, and wastes a lot of people's time, but in the end we got to a good place, I guess. So right,
and that's the whole point, I think, is getting to a good place. I mean, you're not going to change things, you're not. Don't expect changes. Don't expect things to come from it. The best you can do is just correct the information, put the factual, put it out there, and walk away.
Yeah, because I was going to ask you also, a lot of the peeps we were talking to, we were thinking what can happen with Katie. I couldn't think of anything more than just criticism and people making videos, because she skirts that line so good. It's almost like she's gonna always dodge being banned or anything, but what is there to do? I mean,
Right. Yeah. I mean, you can try to push to have her taken down, but I don't necessarily agree with that. I mean, if she violates TOS or she's hurting people, like I feel like she's kind of used her Instagram to do that to the to this Robert Shin and maybe the whole group, then that's one thing. But that's Instagram's decision to make. That's not mine.
Yeah.
Short of that, though, yeah, there's not much you can do. I mean, not going to change her. She's never going to see it. I mean, she's what? She's 40 something years old. She's been probably to some degree doing shit like this her whole life, and she hasn't realized it yet. What makes you think you're going to be the one to make her realize it? And by you, I mean you in the general sense.
Oh no, I know. Yeah, I get you. No, I'm with you.
Yeah, that's just. I mean,
she the Shin thing is those Instagrams. I was going through them. We haven't gotten to the really bad one yet, but it is messed up, and that's why she deletes stuff so much. And I guess you said that I don't want her banned either, but if she does go through this lawsuit and they get a judgment against her, whoever does, that would affect her on YouTube. I mean, it depends. If Shin wins, Shin can have his lawyers send it to YouTube, and then YouTube would make a decision. But that might be the only thing that actually gets her to wake up. But who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the thing is, there's always going to be new subscribers for her to dupe or suck in or whatever, and then they're going to learn the facts, and then they're going to get pissed off and they're going to storm out. It's a revolving door on the internet. So I don't know.
Oh yeah, and that's a lot of what I've been looking at lately. I've looked at Katie's community, I've looked at Chris Chan's community, another guy named DSP. They're all very similar, I think, and the people like our Katie, DSP, Chris Chan, they all have these similar problems. Well, people wanted to know how you got started. We went. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
Wasn't that Chris dude though? Who did some horrible shit with his mom or something?
Oh yeah. Yep. That all just came out in.
Okay. Is shitty as I think Katie may be. I'm gonna go on record here and say that she's not that bad.
Yeah, I'm with you. The thing about Chris Chan is that she is severely autistic. So. Like, that's not an excuse, but everybody thinks that she's in a mental asylum now, and as much as it's sad to hear that, it's been the best place after what she did. So yeah. But yeah, so a lot of peeps wanted to know like how you got started. We went over that. We asked you if what you think about Katie and what can happen to her. We went over that one too, and more on here, but I don't want to jump topics. What do you think Katie would do if she lost her channel? Like, what's your opinion if she did get banned?
I actually we had this discussion in the subreddit Discord, and I gave my opinion because a lot of people were making remarks about she'd have to get a real job and this and that, and I'm like, oh no. I'm like, if there's anything I've learned from watching Katie is the bitch is like a cat. She lands on her feet. She would find some sort of job or some sort of, I guess, however you want to word it. She would market herself as like some motivational speaker speaking out against things like cyberbullying, and she may not be like Tony Robbins huge, you know what I mean, but she might be like Tony Robbins head huge, you know what I mean, like she would be pretty big. I think she would make a good living at it, and that's something that would work out for her. She would do that. I could see that. Now I'm not saying she could do it like she'd be good at it or whatever. I see her just working that into fruition and her making a living out of it. That's I
can see that too.
She has a way of coming out she has a way of getting through these things and coming out the other end. She's better off for it. It's crazy.
Yeah, because she started in blogging or writing, and then eventually moved to YouTube, and she probably would go back to that, I would think. Emily Baker blew up, and Emily was making like Menace put out this thing where Emily was making like X amount of views, and she was getting like some article put out her income, And then he showed how Katie's getting similar views to Emily, and making a similar income off of YouTube that Emily is. And I just found that just insane because, you know, I look at Emily, who talks and does this legal commentary and is really like skilled at what she talks about and does. And then I click on any of Katie's videos and it's just a lot of clickbait and a lot of, like you said, with the Shin thing, rumors, or the Duggar thing, just spam. And it kind of shows you the two sides of YouTube right now, I guess.
Right. Yeah.
So, okay. Well, I want to take like a minute-long break because I got to get a drink. Anyway, I don't want... Did Navy jump out? You still in here, Navy? Okay, good.
Oh, I'm here, Bubba. Yeah, I ain't going
okay. All right. And then I'm going to take about a 2-minute break and then talk more about just the community itself and just try to get on the same page. So I'm going to mute out, and I'll when I get ready to unmute, I'll type to you guys so you know. But we'll do about 2 minutes here because if I'm going to keep streaming, I got to have a drink. So we'll be right back, guys. Right. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Stream. We're going to talk to Aaron more personally about the community when we'll be back in just a second. Ugh. Oh, man. I know you guys hear me sounding like an old man trying to sit back down. I feel so freaking old. Oy vey. So for those of you that don't know, before I get back into the talk, I am usually sitting at a desk, and I'm propped up, all prim and proper, and you know, because I got my camera going. But we're moving right now. So I set up on a couch, and that's why I haven't streamed as much, because, you know, we're just all chilling and everyone's hanging together. And so I'm streaming in a way different atmosphere. So when I stand up, I go from where I used to just get out of a chair. I'm like, you know, I'm laying back, relaxing now. And so like I grunt like an old man every time I get up now. Okay, let's go ahead and unmute and get back to it here. Okay, guys, I'm back in. Sorry. Cool. I'm streaming from a couch instead of my desk. So when I stand up, I sound like an old man. All my bones crack and I'm grunting real loud. So, okay, let's, Navy, let me talk to you for 2 seconds before we get going any further here. How are you feeling so far, buddy? What are you thinking? Think things are going pretty good? I think things are going good.
It seems to be going pretty good so far. I mean, it's some of the questions that people had, you know, about how she began and how she got to where she is now and all this kind of stuff. So it's going pretty smooth.
I agree. I like it like that. I think people should communicate from all over YouTube. It's the best thing we can do. Okay, so Aaron, I don't want to keep you too long, so I want you to let me know, like, just generally, like, do you have like a good 15-20 minutes, or is that too short, too long? What do you think for tonight, like going forward here? And if you have to mute or anything, or if you have anything, just go ahead and do it. You don't have to worry. So
I don't think she's back yet. I think she's
okay. Oh, good. Oh, well then, see, good. Okay, good. So, anyway, because I thought she was, so that's why I was being cheesy. But yeah, talking to the stream, I want to get into a little more of.
Wait, hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. You're fine.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I was talking the whole time. I was thinking that the microphone in my earbuds was on, but I'm using the USB microphone. That's why.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. I was doing the same thing when I walked away, so it's okay.
But to answer your question though, is I pretty much had the whole night put aside. I wasn't sure how long this would take.
Okay.
However, I got a while.
Okay, good, because I'm gonna switch up my video game then. So because this game's fun, but it's a little boring. Okay, because basically we all have our experiences with this community going back, and it's crazy for me to see how Katie has affected. Wait, I'm in the wrong room, aren't I? There we go. It's crazy for me to see how Katie has affected an entire large community of people. She really has, I think, a bigger community that calls her out than she does of people who are kind of with her, and it's just a giant wave that always changes and molds. So we've got like different phases of her existence, and I wanted to talk about that whole Toddy thing because I know that there was a lot of stuff that I was putting out, and I don't know if a lot of people will, because I ramble on for so long, they'll hone in on one thing I say and get pissed or something. But I was hoping we could talk about that whole time period of the Toddy Westbrook thing, because I think that there's a lot of people out there that just don't understand what happened or what goes on or just how it all works. And I don't know, maybe if you want to, do you like when you're all like getting information on her and stuff like that, do you talk to a lot of other people? Like, how does it work? Like,
myself, no, I'm most of anything I do, I get from her. I mean,
yeah.
she has put so much of her and her life out there, like time and again, that I don't really need to talk to anyone. Like, I may talk to someone, ask if they have, do you have this live or whatever, from X amount date or whatever, but that's about it. As far as learning about Katie though, Katie's where I learn about Katie.
Yeah, definitely. Well, because we just the anti-KJ community from the outside looking in, it does look more like a group of friends, and I just want to make sure that people don't take it the wrong way and think that people looking in and seeing everybody hanging together and all that they form that kind of opinion. You know what I mean? So.
Oh my god, holy shit, like there are so many fucking clicks, like
that's what I was hoping you'd tell me about. Yeah,
there, like any community on Facebook or in real life, you're going to have clicks. It's no different than anywhere else, and the clicks, the people inside the clicks is like ever changing, because people spat, people make up,
move
people
in
spat,
and out,
people make
and,
up. It's life though. I mean, you find that anywhere.
You got to treat us like we're Facebook boomers, because I know nothing about that platform. I've never been there. So, I'm glad you're, elaborating a little bit, because I know that from my experience looking, it sounds a lot like we had to look at Facebook a lot, because like you brought up the Q thing, they brought a lot of people from Facebook to YouTube back then. So, I've witnessed it before, but I'm just not used to how it all operates. So that makes sense. Like
nothing gets done in Facebook anymore regarding Katie. Like she's barely even on Facebook. I think the only reason why her Facebook page even gets the posts, I think maybe she has it set to auto post like from her Instagram or something. Maybe, I don't know, but she's never even on it. The Facebook group itself, that's been archived since January 21. So yeah, I pretty much everything has been happening on YouTube or on Twitter, and as of lately Instagram.
Yeah, I need to actually look at Insta more, because I know it's big, it's huge as hell, and I'm not on Insta. I have a profile that I never use. I need to actually start using it again. So I know there's a lot of interaction to be had there. So because I mean, with the whole evolution of things that have kind of, Katie's story is just she kind of causes chaos everywhere she goes. She has that in common with a bunch of her friends from. I keep ruining our stream. Damn it! Sorry. Okay, what did I do wrong now? Sorry, I took our faces off the stream, so backing this up. Well, that ain't gonna work now. Anyway, so yeah, I mean that kind of explains things a little bit, because I know like Rakin, she came in early on. She was like the Katie information station for a good while there, and then people were, that whole thing hit ahead with Waxy and them, and I know that you don't get along with her, and I don't talk to her much, but we're all just looking in from the outside. So when we draw an opinion on it, it's gonna be kind of sporadic. There's not, it's hard to kind of see it. It's hard to process it, I guess. Navy, can you do me a favor? I'm sorry, hold on, Aaron, 1 second. If I fix where we can see our faces, will you let me know when it comes through?
Yes.
Eye out for it. Okay, thank you. Because I know like that's one thing that has caused people to butt heads. It's because there's, I guess, those little tiffs that happen and we don't understand them. Like from looking on the outside, we just see, I don't know, like YouTube.
You and me. Yeah, you and me both half the time. I mean, sometimes I do understand them, but I mean, yeah, like it seems weird just how you find yourself in a tiff or a spat or whatever and have no clue how it happened, and nobody talked to you, nobody gave you a heads up, nothing. You're just like, okay.
Yeah, no, so, I'm with you.
I mean, join the club.
Yeah, so let's see here. I guess, talking to you, I don't want to bring up anyone out there who is negative until like we get to a place, so we might as well go in. I know that there's a lot of angst out there, especially because me and Steve don't get along, and you do get along with them. So one thing I would hope is, regardless of who he gets along with or who I don't get along with or do get along with,
that phases are up there.
Yeah, I just fixed it, but I screwed up the game capture doing it too, so I don't know. I'll have to play with it a little. But because I just don't like not being able to talk to certain people or having assumptions on different people because of someone else. Like if you have an issue with me, I'd rather it be with me. You know what I'm saying? Or not be with me, but us be able to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, or at least try. So.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, and I don't. We are all very capable of being friends with two people at once who may not themselves get along. I mean, that's. Yeah. I mean, just think about your life, your real life relationships and everything. Does everyone get along with each other? Of course not. So why does this have to be any different? So.
And see, I'm glad to hear you say that, because I honestly am the type of person that I like to kind of, even if I don't agree with someone, at least try to let them know why. And for some people, I know it's impossible. It'll never happen. But at least hearing that from you, it's definitely, I think it's cool. So. Well, let's get into, I've got a room where people have like fireball topics. Like they just have a bunch of topics to hit. I'm going to bring that up, but yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
It'll take me 2 seconds to get it up here. I'm going to have to, I guess, close our face cam to bring it up. So I'll do that real fast. Okay. I will bring the cam back upstream in just a few minutes here, because we got a whole bunch of stuff in the room to go through, and that'll be a source for topics. All right, here we go. Oh my God. Okay, it's huge. Okay, so of course there are people that want to hear your... Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead before we start, please.
I don't see anything on my screen. Am I supposed to?
No. Am I streaming still? Yeah, no. I only have that up so that Yeah, I have it up for this more for the audience. You know, only thing I have is a video game going. So. Okay, so some of these questions are going to have like random different content creators in it, or some of these topics. They're not questions; they're just more topics. Well, what I'll do is we'll go through this, and then we'll figure out what to do after that. So, okay. So one thing that we can rip the Band-Aid, I think we should try to just, because I think the conversation's going good enough to where we can rip the Band-Aid off of this one. So, of course, one thing that gets brought up a lot is the R, or the rape report thing. And I don't want you to feel like I'm judging you or anything like that, because I know look, I don't even think anyone talks about it, but a long time ago on YouTube, I had a similar issue. It didn't involve a rape report. It involved like this dude that everybody hated. Everybody thought that I handled it wrong, and they jumped on me for a good month. And I don't want you to think that like I'm going to judge you or anything, because I honestly don't. But I just think that if we get this topic out of the way, it'll help us so that it doesn't have to ever be brought up again. But do you, like, I know you brought it up because the issue is that Katie had...
Listen, let me...
Go ahead. I'll let you do it.
If you want me to talk about it, then I ask, just please let me explain, just tell...
Please, no, go ahead.
How it all came about. So
please do, yes.
I mean, it was back in September, I think it was. She was doing these live streams and putting these posts up. I mean, there were several live streams, and I think like between channels even. There were dozens of posts between platforms, and in these posts and on this live stream, she, as we all know, she outed the person she accused, which I got no problem with that. And she did also. It kind of out, I guess, his family or their businesses. That was kind of fucked up. But and then she brought up the police department and the things that she was saying about this officer, the claims that she was making about what this officer said to her. I was in shock. Like, my whole thinking was, holy shit. So, and then she said in one stream, I think he's still there. And I'm like, what? So I'm thinking, well, if this is true, the department should know about it. And if it's not true, well, the department should know about this. So, and I collected all the shit that she was saying about this and everything. And I just sent it to the department. I'm like, hey, just, I don't know if this guy's still there or whatever. Whatever, just here you go. Well, I heard back from the department, and it was obviously emphatically denied. And I was like, okay, well, and the thing is even that, I was prepared to just let it die there. Like I did learn some information. I learned that their interview had been recorded or whatever, and I'm like, well, do I really want to go down that road? Do I want to do that? Do I want to go there to that extent to prove that she's lying here, or, so, and I hadn't made up my mind yet. I was going back and forth, but I hadn't done anything yet. But it wasn't until on her Facebook page, there was a thread where she was talking about this. Hello?
Yeah, we're here. No, we're here.
Okay. So there was a thread where she was talking about this, and then it looked like there were local people to her on this thread. I mean, her mom even commented on this thread, and that's when I just like, that's when I felt like, oh my God, like there's people in this community.
I can understand that. Yeah,
that could be believing her, and is someone who knows the value of being able to report things to authorities and knows the havoc it can cause when you don't have that trust, you don't have that openness, or that I don't know, you don't feel safe or confident reporting shit to authorities. That'll destroy an entire community. That is what exactly crime needs to continue and to grow and to prosper.
Oh, yeah.
And not to mention, that's what's going to destroy victims, because then you're looking at re-victimization, because nothing's ever changing, nothing's coming about, and whatever. So, and that was my whole concern, and I weighed, even then though, still weighing, going back and forth with it and all, and I thought, if I'd rather be wrong this way than be wrong the other way. So, and even then, when I submitted the FOIA request, all I wanted was just the recording of the interview so I could just learn if the officer did in fact say these things to her or if there's no evidence of it.
Yeah.
Well, the way FOIA or the way data privacy laws work, especially primarily in Minnesota, and I imagine to some degree everywhere, is that in crimes like this, it's public information, but you can't be too specific because then the department responding is that in and of itself is confirming and or denying something, and that is a violation of data privacy laws.
And law, yeah, definitely.
So basically, I had it just after 2 failed attempts. My third try, I was like, I'm just going to request everything. Screw it. I'll just request it all. And I wanted to add too, because people keep saying, "Oh, would this open the door to this?" Blah blah blah. No, it doesn't. Because you know what? I guarantee you, you won't be able to get that report. You can go ahead, submit a FOIA request tomorrow. See how far you get. You won't get it. Yeah. No one will. Because you have to have specific information in order to get it to begin with. And I had something that nobody else has. Okay. And
yeah,
she never, it was a bit of information that I learned along the way that she never put out there. It was because I had that bit of information that I was able to get this FOIA request granted. So
well, look,
no one else
I'm with you. I'm with you. And look, so, I just want to understand. That's all. I'm trying to follow it. And I wasn't watching that unfold back then. So it's kind of like I'm just getting pieces of it out there. So I appreciate you hitting me with it. But yeah, go ahead, please.
I appreciate you asking me and giving me this opportunity to say this, because I've said it I don't know how many times on my channel, but unless people go and hear it, they don't hear it. Yeah. So and even then, I just wanted to put out the information that showed that she was lying about the officer. And mind you, the claims that she made about the officer, she didn't make back in 2007 when this happened, when she made a report. She made these claims for the first time that I could see was in 2018, I think it was, in an older blog post, but she didn't name the officer or the police department. So that doesn't really count, I don't think. Yeah. But this was 13 years later, she was making these claims, okay? And she's blaming the whole reason why the case didn't go forward, she's blaming it all on this one investigator. That's it. Okay. And none of that was true. None of that was the case. And that's something that could really not only damage his career, possibly even just his whole life, and the department and the department's trust among the community. It can just destroy the community. So, yeah.
And I get that. I completely do. And I get that perspective too, because we're dealing with people on both sides. So it's one of those things where if you look at it from one way and then you can see it from another, and it's, you get what I'm saying. So.
Right. I do. And I get that no matter what, there will be people who disagree with me, and that's fine. I'll, whatever. I won't even say a word about it. I accept your disagreement. So then, after all that played out, and Little Red and I did our live stream, Katie, naturally got wind of it. And it was only then that she filed a complaint with this police department against this investigator for his actions, according to her, that 13 years earlier. So then, upon this complaint, the department investigated, and they quickly found her claims to be unfounded because they looked at the evidence. One of such things that they looked at was the recording of the interview, and it was unfounded. So, okay. I don't know what else to say. There's no proof of any of those claims she made being true. If anything, there's strong evidence, I think, that they're not true. And other than that, besides her claims about the officer, like anything else that was learned or whatever, it basically corroborated her story.
Yeah.
It showed that her claims that she made in 2007, or the story she was telling now in 2020 about this dude, were the same as her story in 2007. That's huge.
Well, I'm glad you can.
It validated.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, because that's all I want to hear. I want to hear that what happened, and hear that you're evolving the understanding and the thought process of it, and because I get it. Katie is this entity now, and she really is becoming it. But at the same time, you will have those in the community that are going to, like you said, voice their opinion. And we really just have to take all of that in and attempt to get, what I hope to do is get just a good, let's say, like, explanation each way, so that because people understand it, that's when things get to be put to rest or healed or let go of. So yeah, definitely. And I'm glad you answered that. I agree. Yeah, because you could have just jumped out here, because I know it's one of those topics. I don't even hit that topic on my channel I'll talk about it like now and stuff, but if there was a topic out there that came across the desk and it involved that kind of crime, I typically will skip it. Like with Gabby Petito, that's a rare thing for me to cover, just because we're talking about realness, real life on both sides. So it's hard to look at both sides. Well, let's I think you gave a good breakdown of that, and let me go ahead and look through to a few more things so that we can just move it through. So okay, KJ, we've talked about that a little bit. We'll get back to a couple other things there. Let me skip a few things. We'll get to that in a minute.
A couple questions in the chat. Do you mind if I jump in?
Yes, go ahead, man. Just let me
so one of the ones that was being brought up in the chat a lot was the question of, what do you think about, and this is toward EKC, what do you think about the history of the Minnesota police having like a bad history?
Well, hold on. We'll get there. Let me just go ahead and if you want to answer that, you can.
A whole
but
state, every state has issues. And again, this is 2007. Okay, there had been already changes and everything made. And the history in which is being referred to all the time is the amount of untested kids. And I get it. The backlog is ridiculous. There should never have been a backlog anywhere. I fully understand it. People's upset and ire there. But that wasn't the situation here. That's not at all what happened. In fact, her kit was never tested, not because of some backlog or anything, but because the active intercourse was not disputed on either side. So there was no reason to test it. It was already agreed upon by both parties. So why what are you going to test it for DNA? What for?
Well, look, I think you gave a pretty good initial explanation, and I think that is getting more deeper into it also. I don't even know if I want to go there. For what I'd like to do is make sure that we can talk in the future again, and keep the communication lines open. So we'll figure all that out later. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in the room, so I mean, I get what you're saying completely.
Right. Go ahead, I'd like to just, I'm more than happy to move on, but I just want to wrap this up real quick by saying this. I want to thank you for the opportunity to give my explanation and for you taking the time to ask me, because it's when people don't ask me and they then try to come at me as in using things like sexual assault or whatever as a means to come at me or as a way to hit me or whatever. That to me feels exploitative. If you're not even going to bother to talk to me, one-to-one, person to person, if you're not even going to bother to give me that respect, but instead you're going to come at me with some bullshit like that, then you are exploiting the situation for personal gain here. And that's, in my opinion, that's just shit. So,
yeah. You're fine. No worries. We'll loop around and we'll talk more on those other things, because one other thing that's going on in the community is there's a lot of like, okay, let me see if I can get this out. So you got commentary where people go in and we'd say, like, I want to look at what's out there, draw my opinion, throw it out. And we got another set where it's like proof, and it's more about investigation and evidence. And I think there's a mix-in that's happening, and hopefully we can draw the line on that, because I think it's two completely different types of content. I handle the opinion side, the commentary, and all of that, and I know you kind of go back and forth a little, and others out there. So let's move into like some of these other points that are out, because if we get deep on anything, it's just gonna crack us. So with the people in the room, in the list, they want to bring up like these current battles that are going on out there. I don't want to just name any certain name here or there or whatever, but I'll go ahead and do one. I know there's like issues with Roadhog and his stuff out there where people used to get along and now there's two sides forming. What do you think there's any way to kind of do what we're doing right now, you know, for other people out there that are having these problems and these fights, like, or do you think that there's just no way at all, or would no one be interested in it? Like, is there any way to kind of tame down other dramas or anything, do you think, or?
Well, I think, like, if you take two people involved in the drama, if they were to, like, be forced in a room together or whatever, I think that things would play out a lot differently. I think there would be more respect among each other. However, I don't think that I think that in a lot of these situations, though, the people don't really care.
I was going to say the same thing.
Like, I think it's the whole showmanship, the whole drama of it and everything. And I get it. Don't get me wrong, because I've kind of fallen, you know, I don't know, under its spell too at times, you know.
Sure.
So I'm not judging, but there's, like, you know, friendly banter. There's, you know, I guess even like a little more than that, you know, just it's showmanship, you know, just really exaggerating and accentuating, you know, the whole discussion, the debate, or the argument. And then there's doing shit like doxing each other, putting out, you know, the people's addresses and putting out pictures of their homes, or talking to family members and stuff, you know. There's entertainment, and then there's just fucking bullshit.
Yeah. Because I'm part of a collective of, like, old school content creators that they never ever show their face in any of the communities that they look at, but they definitely keep an eye on things, and their goal really is just to kind of, like, get YouTube to where those kind of things, like you just mentioned, don't happen anymore. Because we think, you know, I think it's never goes anywhere good. I think we all agree that. So how we used to handle it in the past is whenever someone had an issue, they just made a video and addressed each other. So that's where we all want it to kind of go back to. We're all trying to figure out how we can get it there. And I thought I'd ask you because, you know, you know some of the people out there, and I know there's a lot of showmanship. I know even when people start to throw out threats and stuff to each other, a lot of the times they're just showboating and they're playing the game and all that. So I don't know. It's kind of hard to figure out what to do. I don't know.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, I mean, I'm not judging people or whatever for it. I mean, and the thing is we're all going to be assholes at times. We're all going to get angry. We're always going to be in that right state of mind where something just sets us off. And that's not the problem, though. I think what's the problem, though, is that when that does happen, and when we realize that's happened, like right afterwards, is how we go about handling it from there on out, and how the rest of us go about offering grace. That's what's important. And thing is I'm not about to offer grace to anyone who doesn't truly want it. And
okay, I'm with you.
I mean, I think humility is a human trait that is long desired to be seen by everyone else.
Yeah.
So
I'm with you, definitely.
And if you don't have it, then there's going to be issues. So
yeah, you know, we sit back and look in to see, like, you know, is there a solution? Because when creators go to that point, when they take it way too far, then YouTube does tend to eventually try to step in, and that's just the word. That's the thing we always try to avoid. But yeah, that's a whole different subject, though. But I'm scanning through this. Yeah, go ahead, please.
That's where I think the problem is, though. It's like you were saying, you know, how what we were. The talk or whatever the conversation is, what do we do about it? The thing is there is no one answer, and there is no one definitive answer. This involves humans. So it's like YouTube, the community of YouTube as a whole is a living, breathing organism that is ever evolving and changing. So whenever you find an answer to something, it's not going to be universal, and it will always change. So it's never something like, okay, there, we took care of this problem, now we can sit back and relax. No, there is never any relaxing.
Yeah.
You just, you know,
I get it.
We're always going to be fucking up. So.
Well, I get that because right now, we probably talk like once or twice a week, and the big discussion is in the true crime community, and it was behind the scenes. It might have spilled out to the front recently, but it happens all over the platform, and it's hard to figure out how to get people to talk and maybe hear each other a little bit. Yeah. That's
Yeah, I mean, and also,
yeah, go ahead.
I mean, and I've said this before, like a dozen times or more times. I think also too, we're expecting way too much out of YouTube creators. I mean, if we're expecting someone who's going to match and reach all of our expectations and values and share all of our morals and ideals and do everything the way that we think that it should be done, well, then we're going to be sorely disappointed. We're never going to find a channel that we can really truly support and stand behind, because no one will ever match our expectations.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I know back, YouTube was so different back a few years ago, and the way it is now, we do kind of have to adapt a little, and that might be the answer to try and get people talking again and stopping the extreme stuff. But I think we've hit the majority of hold on. Nope. I got another little bit of a page here, so I'm going to skim through it. Yeah, and Navy, I wasn't cutting you off. I just want to stay on the surface for now. You know what I mean? So I don't want you to think
no worries, man. No worries.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. I just don't want you to think I was trying to just brush you off or something, but... Let me see here. Well, I am going to give us about another minute to chill here, because I've got to turn my air conditioner on before I die. I don't know where you're what part of the country you're in, Aaron, but it is so hot here, and it was cold like 2 days ago. It was like 40.
I'm in upstate New York. Aren't you like just a couple states over or something?
Yeah, I'm in Ohio, and I don't know why, but it is so freaking hot today. It's nice, but I'm not adjusting to it. Yeah. Anyway, so stream.
I hope that weather's coming here next. I really do.
It probably is. It's probably floating over. Okay, I'm gonna mute out for a minute. I just need about a minute and a half. You got anything, Navy, before I do?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay, I'm gonna mute. Okay, stream. I'm gonna go ahead and allow. I got to turn my air conditioner on, and I needed to warn you all. Oh, I can turn our faces back on, I think. I am going to. Hold on. Let me turn our faces. Damn it, back on. Before I get going, what did I do? What did I do to mess it up? Oh, I know what I did. So I'm going to warn the stream really quick. When my air conditioner's on, because I'm in a new spot, I was telling you guys, it might make a little buzzing noise. So we're just going to have to ignore it, because I'm going to die. I'm going to pass out and die if I don't turn my air on. I don't know why. It has to be like 78 degrees in here. And hey, ASU mom, shoot, don't let me miss that. Let me grab that really quick. Let me read it here. EKC, did you reach out, talk to Katie before you released a report? You do it for clout, which is disgusting. You want grace, please, says ASU mom. Well, we'll get there, because you guys know that right now I'm trying to process things. I'm thinking on things here. We'll get into it a little deeper. But I do, I'm going to give Navy and EKC a second to breathe. And myself, I'm going to give me a second to turn on the air conditioner. Thank you, though, for the dono. Very much appreciated. I'll make sure to read it when we get back. Give me about, I don't know, a minute. It won't take that long. I don't know why my music's not kicking in. There it is. Okay, give me 30 seconds to let that air spin around in here, because it is hot. Oh, it feels better already. so much better. Oh, hell. All right. So much better. Okay. Okay, dokie then. So we're live right now with EKC and Navy, and we're just trying to go through and process and hit topics from a general perspective here. And I'm gonna unmute in a second. I just gotta collect my heat disbursement thoughts here. I'm thinking about dispersing the heat. I'm probably 20 degrees colder already. What an air conditioner. Ooh, it's such a nice air conditioner.
But now, like 40 something years old, you know, I was like, I don't want to be living with other families here. And I want to just sell it and get the fuck out.
Yep.
All right, I'm back, y'all. I turned on the air conditioner. This air conditioner deserves a medal because it cooled things down fast. I'm in love with this thing. Okay, so let me get back here to our screen. All right, we're good. I mean, from what I'm taking from the audience, you're gonna get, and I've been through it a million times, you're gonna get people that, you know, they've you got people that I think are on your side with some of the stuff that happened in the past. But the good news is that's in the past, and really everyone has to be judged by how they're going to handle things now. So I mean, you gave a great response to that. So other questions people have really only revolve around some of the older topics, like I mean, we probably could go into lawsuits a little bit that Katie is involved in. That's what we've been talking about. But you know, really, there's people out there who think that Katie will, or they think that Chrisley and 7M, even Steve, have. People look at the lawsuit, and they'll see one group will see that they're gonna, you know, win, and other people will see that they're gonna lose. So I mean, we really only have to take time. But
well, I mean,
go ahead. Yeah.
The information that's out that's being alleged or in the filings, that doesn't determine win or loss. I mean, really, when it all comes down to it, it's the arguments that win or lose a case. But these, you can look at what's being argued and see who has, you know, a better chance of forming a good argument. I don't know, whatever. But like, it takes more than just having the evidence and the actuality to win a lawsuit. I mean, you have to go through the motions. You have to do it properly. You have to do it, you know, you have to handle the counter arguments. You have to, you know, shred them. You know, there's so much more to it. So,
well, we're all at a disadvantage with 7M because I went in and pulled the lawsuit, and a lot of their issues they're keeping, you know, kind of like secret right now. I mean, not really. They're naming some of them, and then they kind of tell you what it is the issue is in a paragraph, but they're not putting out any. Like, I remember with Toddie's lawsuit, she had literal clips and stuff that she referenced, and this one, it's like they're keeping it, you know, for later. So,
well, the only thing, I mean, I think they do give examples and everything in this lawsuit, but I noticed that the one thing that they haven't provided much information or examples on to support their argument or to show their argument yet is the claim of Katie releasing sealed court records or whatever, or confidential court records. And because Katie has read court records, but I don't, like, they don't explain which records that were confidential, or, you know, or which part that she read was confidential. And I get it, because if they did, then they themselves would be outing the confidential information. So I get it, they can't really do that. But that's the one thing I've seen that there's just no explanation of, and I'm kind of curious about. So
yeah, and then they had like, oh shit, I wish I had it in front of me. They said that they did say in the case that there was they showed an image of something Katie said, and then later down they said that they have a lot more images that they'll give in court, and I think it's because of what you just said. I think some of it's whether it is referencing confidential information or not, there's some stuff that I don't think Robert Shin wants blasted again and again and again, and he's probably going to ask for it to be, you know, sealed or whatever, which is his right. So, you know, makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, especially if it's like, if it involves any posts that she herself is already like privatized or removed from public viewing, and like if it's anything like personal, like a home address or something, you know, something like that, I get it. But I mean, as far as like the actual defamation and stuff like that, I mean, they have to. They don't have to, but if you, in my opinion, if you want to successfully argue a defamation case, you have to attack the defamation. You have to provide evidence of what is the defamation and how it is defamation. If you don't publicly do this, then you're not addressing the defamation, because you're allowing the original statements to stay out there and be all that there is out there. So I mean, I think when it comes to the actual defamation, they're going to have to put a lot of it out there. Otherwise, you know, what's the point?
Yeah, I'm with you. I said the same thing, and I think he's got. I think he does have a lot more than what we're seeing now, but you know, I guess we'll probably just have to wait and really see to get it all to sink in. And you know, the one thing is we can listen to what she said, which I need to find that Instagram video that she did, because she went off on him. There was one that I skipped through, and she was just like being really nasty. And that's what I see her do. I remember when the Creepshow Art Docs happened, she was in the Discord being like really respectful and really cool in front of all of us. But then one day she got mad earlier in the day, and she was just really angry, and you could just tell the difference. She was spamming all this nasty stuff about her, and she called her a cunt real loud, something that she just never did in our Discord. Now that's like when, like 3 hours later, she threw out like 10 links, and one of them had Creepshow's docs in it. Now the messed up thing is, somebody said one of our moderators deleted it because they were looking at it and they were like, holy shit, this has like literally everything about Creepshow's entire life in it, like her houses and all. So they deleted the link, and then they're like, why did you throw that in here? And she acknowledged that, you know, that she's like, well, we need that for a video and blah, 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 and all this stuff, and tried to make excuses. So I've seen how she goes from when she's not angry, she'll be the Mrs. YouTube persona, but when she is angry, she gets really vindictive, like scary vindictive.
Oh yeah, and like
have you seen her do that?
Oh my god, yeah. Like after the stream that we were talking about with the prevention stream there, I remember she ended up releasing like a pre-recorded video where she's like, my apology, my mistakes or whatever, and you can see it in her, like she's like, the words that are coming out of her mouth with like such a foul taste, and you know, I mean, she's hating everything.
Oh,
but then
yeah.
But then she gets to the point where she says, for the past 18 months, a group has stalked and harassed about it. And, you know, and as soon as I heard that, I'm like, and there it is. You know, and that's when she, you know, suddenly didn't mind saying what the words she was saying. And she's, you know, saying, oh, this is, none of this is my fault. It's because this has happened. That's happened, blah, blah, blah. And then after that, she did another stream where she's like, you know what? I read this article today, and, you know, I'm done. I'm going back to being me. Fuck everyone else. You know, I think that might have even been the stream where she said, if you want to defend me, go ahead. I'm not sure. I could be wrong about that. But, you know, but that's when she's like, I'm done. I'm just going to be a bitch about this stuff. And you see it. That's when she starts talking mad shit about Emily D. Baker. Yeah.
She goes off. Yeah. You know, what's funny is that stream you mentioned, or that video you mentioned that she uploaded where she did that, where it was like the apology and then she flipped. So I made episode 1 of my like criticism video, and I was making episode 2 when she doxed Creepshow, and I was actually criticizing her really hard, right? I was telling her all these things that she did wrong that I'd found, and episode 2 is even worse. And I go in, and she jumps into a Discord room, and she hears me talking to Navy and some other people, and she goes, you know what? I'm gonna make a video. I'm gonna go out and do it. And she leaves. And then, so I'm making part 2, and she releases that video that you just talked about. And I got so mad when I saw it, because I go, hold on a minute. Like, you can't release your video where you've learned from everything I brought up before I've released it. Like, I haven't even released my video yet. You haven't learned from the criticism. You haven't heard it. So yeah, it was really bad. But then that's when she doxed Creepshow, is when I kind of sat her down and was talking to her and like telling her how I felt about it, and she got all angry, and then it ran into that. So yeah, pretty messed up. It's like when she flips, it's like she's driving a car at like 90 miles an hour, this really expensive car with her channel, and when she gets angry, she just speeds up and starts going through town or something. She's really dangerous with it.
Yeah. It's like she's going through town, or if to use the car analogy, she's doing the speed limit. She's okay with it. You know, she's following the rules of the road like anyone else. And then it's like she starts to resent the fact that she has to stay within the speed limit. She can't just do whatever the fuck she wants. She has to follow the rules of the road. And it's like she gets so mad that she just says, "Fuck it, I'm gonna break them all."
Exactly. Yeah, I witnessed that in real time, and it was really the first. I don't know if it was the first time Navy saw it, but it was the first time I saw it. Navy, you remember Katie in our server around that time?
Yeah.
You interacted with her a lot. What was your like take on it? What did you think, seeing her kind of get angry, get unangry, go back and forth, like?
So anytime, the one thing I learned is that she was not a woman who enjoyed any kind of criticism. So there were people in the Discord, including myself, who tried to help her the way others had in the past. And the moment we did, she got supremely defensive and just got angry at us. Like, how dare you tell me how to do things? And I'm like, we're not telling you how to do stuff. We're just saying, maybe this is a better way to do things. Maybe, you won't come off as so corrosive if you do it this way. And she was having none of it.
Yeah, and the thing was, she had told you guys to do that. She literally asked you to do it. Go ahead, Aaron.
I mean, she came in all like friendly and stuff, and like,
okay.
Hey, guys, I want your help, and I'm trying to get your help and all that kind of stuff. She was not. There was never any point in time that she actually wanted our help.
Yeah, and the thing is, in my opinion anyways, when it comes to something like YouTube, it's so much of it is about perception. I mean, it's good if you can back up the image and everything you're trying to give off, but I mean, if you can't even just put off the right image as to not piss people off for like 5 minutes, then what are you doing? Just every once in a while, you got to know when to shut up, I guess. I don't know. And I don't think she knows. And maybe none of us really do. I don't know. But
no, I'm definitely with you. It's been a learning experience trying to see how, because I was mostly doing debunks and talking about flat earthers and other conspiracy theorists before I'd come back into the commentary community. And you forget a lot of times the commentary is all about emotion. It's all about perspective. It's all about friendships. And, these are things that a lot of times we lose track of looking in from the outside. So.
It is about all those things you mentioned. I think it's really good commentary though, when you can respect the friendships, you can respect the relationships and everything, but still also give, a bit of, I don't know, just.
No, I'm with you.
Give an opinion that's as unbiased as possible, and just be nice about it. Yeah, be polite about it. But because I think you're going if you don't acknowledge something that's a behavior or an action that was kind of shitty to others, if you don't acknowledge it, then you're invalidating it for a group of people that were offended by the said behavior or the action. You can acknowledge it without demonizing the person who committed the offense. That's all.
I'm with you, definitely. Well, Aaron, I really appreciate you stopping in. I'm only stopping because I don't know how this happened, but we are over the 2 hour mark. I don't know what the hell just happened, because you came in like 15 minutes in. It feels like we've talked for 10 minutes. So I'm getting old, so I've been going to bed around midnight lately. So I hope you come back. I hope we can keep talking, because definitely I've gotten a new perspective.
So do I.
Well, I'll message in. I'll see what we can do. I really do. Very much. I hope you hear me. I very much appreciate it. Very much.
So do I. Thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity, UNIRock.
Anytime. All right. I'll see you guys later. Oh, man. Okay. Well, I didn't mean to just jump out like that, but, you know, I have to, I want my memes. Give me my memes. Hold on. I'm not saying anything until I have my memes. There we go. You know, I want to talk to you guys for a second before I log out, and I'm probably only got like 10 minutes on the mark, so I really didn't plan on keeping her for 2 hours, because it's really too much to try to do when you're first talking to somebody, to talk to someone for that long. But you know, time just flew by. But I'm gonna give you some general thoughts really fast, but I want you to listen to me. For too long, the UNIRocksta have not been doing my job, and my job is to do these streams and use these streams as the basis in the material for my uploads. So I'm gonna pause all my stuff. Everything I've been doing, I'm gonna pause it, because I was working on the second part of the Bobby the Cat thing, and I didn't finish it today. Sorry, it's a creative flow to try to battle a Terminator cat for my crackhead assistant. It's a creative flow, so sometimes it takes a little more time than I think it's going to take. So that'll be tomorrow. After, I'm going to give you an upload no matter what. So what I do is I record, and then I'll typically spend like 2 days or 3 days editing. That's what's been holding me up. So please forgive me. I'm going to record my response to what just happened, what we just talked about, and what my thoughts are, because I have a lot. And I may not edit it that much, so I hope you suffer through whatever I record, because typically I edit it down a lot, and I make sure it's like pretty, and zooming in and I'm zooming out, and I'm zooming on the text here, and I'll try my best to get as much of that in as I can. I don't think that I'll get a lot of editing in, though, because, you know, I've got the longest part is writing what it is I'm going to say. Man. So let me give you some general thoughts, though. Let me close this game. I'm just going to give you some general thoughts really, really quick, and then I'm going to go offline, because I got to start processing. I got to start scripting. I don't want to lose it. But anyway, give me a second. Let me hear my segue. Oh my God, you guys were nailing it with the memes. I have to admit, I did miss some of the memes. I love it. I love the memes. So listen, here's what's up. Before we even go anywhere, I've got a Discord server now that is for creators. So there's not that many people in it. It's literally where I sit and edit, and might tag somebody and ask for a clip or something if they have it. But the other server is open, and it's ready for you or anyone else that wants to come in. And I don't care if you love me or you hate me, as long as you can speak to other people, and you, instead of fighting with someone or instead of putting somebody down or whatever, if you can, you know, talk to someone, and if you get pissed at them or something, leave them alone, not stalk them and dox them and threaten them and stuff. I'd love to have have you, I'm going to tweet out this link on UNIRocktv on Twitter. So here is the link to the Discord server, and I really hope you join, regardless if you love me or if you hate me. You don't have to talk to me. I just hope you come in, say hi, maybe throw your opinion down. Tell me if you disagree with me on something. Because next time I talk to Aaron, the reason I cut it off now is because I want to talk to Aaron about some... for one, I'd like to just sit around and talk to Aaron a little more, but I want to talk to Aaron about a couple things that I don't want to bring up tonight, which is the fraud raiser stuff and a little bit of the community stuff that has to do with maybe our take on that, because I am I don't know. I feel bad because I haven't been real with everybody for years. You know, I'm here to bust some fraud raisers. I'm here to do some commentary on some different communities, and I'm here to keep moving and keep moving and keep moving. So, you know, it wasn't dishonest. Don't call it dishonest, because it wasn't, because I literally told everybody what I was doing the whole time. But Days of Our Live Streams is my commentary on that thing that I brought up to her in the end, which was the emotions, the interactions, the kind of like the friend groups. I am foreign to all of that. I was in the military, you know, I deployed. I'm one of those dudes that has no feelings. I'm one of those dudes that has no emotions. So, you know, I'm a Tarkov player, and it's just, I'm just here. I'm on the earth to suffer, pure punishment, suffer. That's it, suffering. So, commentary on that is like me commentating on a foreign thing. Anyway, back to EKC. I know that EKC has, and I brought up some of those things with EKC about the R report and about some of the more, let's say, controversial sides of that community, and we got some basic discussion on it. And next time we get Aaron in, we might go a little bit deeper on that. But you know, the one thing that I do think that I have to give props to her for is, you know, there are people out there, like, the last thing I'll do if I don't like you is try to dissuade somebody from talking to you or block you from coming here to talk. I'll use Cheshire as an example this time, because I tried to get Cheshire to come in here and talk a million times. She literally could have just did what Aaron did, but Aaron didn't not come. Aaron walked in the door, and I think that's a huge step to take. You know, so I don't know. I have to think about what the interaction that we just had, but I'm going to be real as fuck when I upload my video, and I ask politely that nobody take it as an insult, nobody take it as a dig, nobody take my commentary on this discussion as a, you know, I don't know, as a slight. I'm just going to be real about it. That's just, and then it'll be done. So I'm about to make that for you, and because of that, I gotta go. I will upload this tomorrow, and I'm gonna have to do Bobby the Cat, the attack against Bobby the Cat after it. Hopefully I'll get it out tomorrow night, and I'll be live tomorrow night to update you on what I think. And Erin, maybe she'll jump in tomorrow, maybe she'll be busy, but we'll get her in here real soon.